Cutthroat Caverns Anniversary Edition is a semi-co-op game where 3 to 6 players battle monsters to earn the most prestige. Smirk and Dagger Games provided this copy in exchange for an honest review. Depending on player count, shuffle and create the initiative deck. Place it face down in the center. Players will secretly choose one of these each round. Shuffle the main deck, then deal 7 cards to everyone. To create the encounter deck, choose a finisher, meaning boss, and the number of encounters you wish to use. The standard game suggests 9, including the finisher. Anyhow, everyone takes a character board. Starting health depends on the number of encounters. Use 100 points for the standard game. At this point, you're ready to start. Reveal the encounter card and set the encounter board accordingly. The monster is worth the prestige points on the right. The very bottom shows the monster's starting health depending on player count, as well as its target for its attacks. The body text explains any special rules. When you attack an enemy, you don't immediately take the health away on this encounter board. Instead, add your attack card to the damage stack, then adjust the encounter's health counter once all players have resolved their cards. It's a bit of a different system, but because this game is about getting the killing blow, people will be playing action cards out of order and try and manipulate things. The main deck has a handful of card types, so let's go through them all. Green item cards, potions, amulets, and so on, are immediately played next to your board when drawn. Unless the card says otherwise, these can only be activated between encounters. Blue action cards are the nasty cards that can be played whenever the situation calls. These activate immediately. For example, Not on My Watch can be played after someone else's action card to cancel it. Red attack cards deal the damage shown, but there are some special ones to know about. Protected attack cards have character images at the bottom. If you play one that shows your own character, rotate it to do double damage. Enhanced attacks deal a small amount of damage, but do things like steal a rival's item. Feint, Double Strike, and Opportunity Fire are all tactical cards. Feint is played when you don't want to deal damage. The other two are immediately replaced with new attack cards, and the special rules are activated. Finally, Rider cards, Focus Strength, and Slip Behind are moved next to your player board after they're revealed. On your next turn, they modify your attack. Gameplay boils down to this. Put out an attack card face down, then reveal based on initiative. Place successful attack cards in a stack below the encounter board. After everyone is gone, check to see if the enemy is defeated. If not, resolve the enemy's attacks based on its card. Discard previous attack cards, then shuffle and draw initiative again. Some encounters have different rules, but this is the general idea. Anyhow, everyone draws a card, then start a new round. If the enemy was defeated, award the encounter card to the player who dealt the killing blow, advance the encounter cube, and begin a new encounter. Players may discard cards, then drop to their hand limit. There are things that I didn't talk about, such as looting your dead rivals, but this should give you the basic idea on how to play the game. Attack, but don't leave encounters in a position to be killed by rivals. Play actions to benefit yourself and hurt others, but not too much that it makes encounters more difficult for you. That's Cutthroat Caverns. There's a fair amount of reading in Cutthroat Caverns, and probably close to the level we read in grade 4. The art and theme might be intense for some kids younger than that. As for math, you're counting by 5s and doing quite a bit of mental math. Not nearly as much as in Smash Up, but you'll be adding, subtracting, and even doubling and halving. In our learning game, we used 4 encounters and finished in under an hour, including setup and takedown. Our full games with 9 encounters also take only around an hour now that we know the game. I'd say 3 and 4 player games can be squeezed in on weeknights, but maybe save this for the weekend of playing with more people. Player Your boards are small and you'll only have a few cards at most in front of you. 3 people could possibly play on a large coffee table. In our second game of Cutthroat Caverns, I was crushing Mom and Dad, but Dad collected 4 prestige points, then 7 more to take the lead. Mom only had a single point, so Dad canceled one of my attacks to give her the encounter, which is worth 6 points. All of a sudden, even though she was still in last, she had become a threat. The finisher was Shadow Morph, who was worth 9 points. The 3 of us kept manipulating cards and whatever else we could to stop one another. In the end, Mom won. Way to go, Dad. If you hate nastiness, having your plans constantly go wrong, and light trash talking, skip Cutthroat Caverns. I mean it. It is so mean. You could play without the action cards, but that goes against the whole point. You can't just hurt the other players though. First, some monsters grow in power if you take too long. Second, if you let another player or 2 die, each enemy comes out with health points equal to the total initial players, not just living ones. Good luck. I love when games have groove trackers on the boards. Even if it's bumped, the marker isn't going to slide off somewhere. The rulebook isn't bad, but it has walls of text without a lot of example images. I do like the glossary on the back though. I'm glad that there are only 8 items in the 94 card deck. If someone has a potion, of course you're going to target them. If everyone was constantly stealing from one another, the game would drag and we'd get destroyed. Scarcity is a good thing. Speaking of items, I like that you have to choose between encounters whether or not you're going to use one. This and the delayed attacks are the biggest decisions in this game. That isn't to say that this game is just mindless action. Whenever I set a card, I'm thinking about initiative, enemy health, our health, and considering any rider cards and/or items that are in play. Sometimes you don't want to deal the highest damage, and sometimes you want to aid an ally. The bluffing and fine, I guess I'll help you moments are my favorite parts. This game needs more than 3 people. At 3, there can be some piling up, and it feels less like pure and fun chaos and more like hate. Cutthroat Caverns Anniversary Edition is definitely more tactical than strategic. There are almost too many ways for the opponent to stick it to you. People who know me know that I love Take That in games, but I want there to be more than just playing a card and hoping it works out. In Smash Up, if Mom and Dad are in my way, I can focus on another base. In Dice Throne, I can mitigate the rolls or maybe focus on buying some upgrades. In Western Legends, you get the idea. With 4 people, you have more targets, meaning more decisions, when playing, so the encounters are less likely to drag. They still do though, and that's the problem. 4 people make this more enjoyable, but not a game I'd want to play for more than 20 to 30 minutes.